This thing is an extraordinary piece of gear that you probably have never seen before. This beast is a very, very rare Greg Hanks BA-660. The 90s was an amazing time for audio gear. People were still around who built the stuff in the 50s and 60s, and there were younger people coming up who studied under those people and really understood how things worked and why they work and what made them great. And Greg was one of those guys who just had a completely different sort of point of view, and he was like, why can't I make these things? Why can't I make something like a Fairchild 660 that would be also a mic pre and have a unlimited amount of headroom? And it really was, you know, a groundbreaking piece of gear. But because he was super meticulous and everything is sort of like aeronautical grade sort of circuitry in it, that he handmade each one of these things. They have the highest headroom of any mic pre you will ever come across. Impossible to make this thing distort. It's got the ability to model a bunch of different optical limiters. I have it set right now as a copy of the Fairchild 660 because that's my favorite sort of like gooey vocal compressor. Impossible to make it overload or distort in any way, shape, or form. It's a beast, and you will probably never in your lifetime see another one because when people buy these things, they tend to keep them. This particular one is interesting to me because this came out of Eddie Van Halen's 5150 Studios when he was doing some upgrades and selling some gear. So he had, I think, 2 of these, maybe 3 of these. This one is particularly unique because he had Greg Hanks modify it so it had a DI. So it's the only one on the planet that has a DI because he liked to record his guitars direct into this thing. The piece of tape here is from when Greg Hanks modified it in 1999. I mean, I tend to like having a limiter whenever I record anything just because you never know how loud something's going to come fly at you. So the combination of the built-in mic pre and the limiter is really handy for me. You will never find another one that has this sort of history to it, has been part of so many incredible recordings, and he only made a handful of them because he was just that much of a perfectionist. So, you know, he's gone now, unfortunately, and his legacy lies in these.